Let's start out with something very simple and basic. I'm going to play the diatonic triads moving up in the key of C. We simply play 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4, 5, 6 minor, 7 diminished, and then back to 1. There is nothing wrong with this, but it is rather weak, especially at the end. The 7 diminished chord is usually avoided because it is not very effective. Generally speaking, we substitute another triad for the 7 diminished triad. Here is the same idea, but this time I replace 7 diminished with 4, then finish up with a very typical ending cadence, typical for Bach, Mozart, and Beethoven. I think this is much more effective. This has been a good review of basic diatonic triads, and doing it in every key is a good exercise. So right here we have something elemental and important that every good music student should be able to do. And so we can end our story right here with the confidence that something solid has been learned. But now it's time for the rabbit hole. What if each time we move up to the next triad, we put some morphs in between to disguise what we're doing? Let's explore that idea. As I move from 1 to 2 minor, I add an augmented chord, a dominant 7 chord, and a fat chord to disguise the movement. Remember that the fat chord is my name for the diminished chord. So now I have used all 4 qualities of chords: major, minor, augmented, and diminished. The dominant 7 chord is a bonus. Moving from 2 minor to 3 minor is similar. There is no augmented chord this time, but I still have major, minor, dominant 7th, and the fat chord. Moving from 3 minor to 4 is a shorter distance because we are only going up a half tone. This time I used minor, augmented, and major. Moving from 4 to 5 is much the same idea. I'm just disguising the movement. Moving from 5 to 6 minor is once again the same idea. When we get to 6 minor, we want to get back to 1 because 7 diminished doesn't sound very good, so we use misdirection. In this case, I use the exact same inverted chord Beethoven used in his Eroica Symphony, an inversion of a major 7 chord, because it adds tension. Then I morph up to a fat tone. Next, I open up to an A-flat dominant 7 chord, respelled as a German 6 chord. Finally, I open up to a 1 chord. Then I end with the typical Captain Obvious final cadence. Now comes my rocket idea, and it goes like this. We simply start someplace and we go up and up and up. The music is always rising, always intensifying. Often as it rises, we get louder, and in some cases a little faster to increase the tension in the drama. To add even more variety, I went to a 4 minor chord and then to a 1 minor before 5-7 goes to 1. And with that, you have something very typical of Beethoven, but also of countless composers who have been writing music ever since. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave comments about anything you like, anything you'd like to see in the future, and remember that I consider all suggestions.